Hi guys, this is Dr. Christine, and today I'm going to discuss how it is that we can have, just resolve conflicts that we have in our relationships, because it doesn't matter how good your relationship, you're bound to have some type of conflict. So today I'll be discussing and giving you some ideas, some tips on how to resolve conflicts when they come up. That way that you can really just have and maintain really healthy and happy relationships. So the first, before I forget guys, please like and share this video for me. It does help with my, they have some kind of a algorithm that the more you like the video, the more it goes, they show it to other people. And I believe that this is something that's useful for all relationships. So if you could just share it with your friends, your family, whoever it is that needs help, your spouse, and I'd really appreciate that. So, okay, so how do we resolve conflicts while maintaining healthy relationships? The first step is to listen. Listen. You know, we have the tendency to listen to respond. This is the natural tendency of human beings. We listen to respond. Most individuals listen to respond. So you're listening to respond to something that you don't like. So what I would advise for you to do is listen actively, listen empathetically, listen so that you can actually hear the concerns of the person, right? And when you're listening to somebody in this way, you're not on your phone and you're not looking left and right and all over the place. You're actually paying attention to the person. You're actually paying attention to the person, hearing what they're saying, seeing what their mood is so that you can empathize with that and kind of relate to what is they're feeling while they're saying these things, because, emotions are going to be a part of maybe some explaining, especially when there's something difficult that you have to discuss. So listen to hear and understand instead of to respond, right? So that means that you're going to take your time and listen, understand what they're saying. And if you don't understand what they're saying, then you ask follow-up questions. Clarifying questions is what they call that, to understand what the person is saying, right? And that means that you don't interrupt all the time when they're saying something. Everything they say you interrupt, or you lash out, or you just wait until they're finished, and then you ask your clarifying questions. If something you didn't understand something, you ask clarifying questions, let them answer, take your time. When you're having issues, especially when it is when it can cause potential conflict, it's best for you to do this kind of communication when you're actually in a relatively calm state, instead of when you are angry. So if you find that you are having a conflictual something that's causing conflict in your relationship, don't respond and try to manage it when you're all angry and everything, right? If you have to say to your partner, let's wait until we've kind of into a better place emotionally, so we can actually hear each other instead of barking and shouting. And because when you're angry, you're not going to be responding, you're not going to be listening. All right. So even if you have to make an appointment and say, okay, why don't we do it tomorrow at this time? That way you can basically know that you're going to do it, and you calm yourself down and you prepare for that conversation that might result in conflict normally, but if you're prepared for it, you're in a better place to really act calmly. All right. So the next thing is, as I've been saying, is stay calm. Stay calm. And I kind of touched on those before, because it's best for you to do this when you're calm, right? If you do this in the heat of the moment, then you're going to get caught up in that emotional thing, and it's going to make that conflict worse, right? So if you're there and you're actually in the place that you have to kind of have a conversation, just tell them, just take a couple deep breaths while you're waiting for them to say what they're saying, and calm down before you respond, right? I said respond, not react, because react is usually like that, snap, as soon as they say something, you lash out. Respond is when you take your time and you calmly listen to what they're saying and you respond in an appropriate way, okay? The next thing is to avoid blaming or criticizing, what the person has to say. There are ways for you to focus on the problem instead of criticizing the person, because of course, nobody likes to be criticized, right? So as soon as you start that, it's going to cause more conflict. And the problem, if you're trying to solve a conflictual or a problematic situation, then you lashing out with pointing fingers and criticizing is not going to help. So avoid blaming and criticizing. And especially when you're in a relationship with is a partner, is a romantic relationship, guys, remember that I've always told my clients that when you're in a relationship, it's you and your partner against the problem, not you against each other. You're not fighting against each other. Whatever the problem is, you should come together on one side. Otherwise, there's always going to be some kind of problems, right? If you're always lashing out at each other. So in this case, avoid blame and criticism and try to focus on the problem. What is the problem? And find a solution together for that problem, okay? Tip number 4, find a common ground. Sometimes it's possible that you can't find a common ground, right? So find a solution that works for both of you. Even if there's just so this is going to require compromise. That means that there's you might get a little bit of this and you get a little parts right there, but then there's something that you have to compromise on, right? Compromise is a very natural part of conflicts, of resolving conflicts, because not everybody is going to get exactly what they want, and the aim is to satisfy each person so they feel as if they've gotten what they needed, right? Or at least wanted. Maybe it's not perfect, but both of you get something out of this resolving this conflict. And also, guys, it's a good idea to follow up. Once the conflict is, once you've discussed whatever the problem is, and you've come to some kind of solution or some kind of just compromise, then it's always good to follow up with your partner, because sometimes, and just to make sure that everything is okay, is there anything else that we need to work on this conflict? Because sometimes there may be lingering issues, and the person might not, that may need to be addressed. And maybe one partner might not want to really come back again. But if you both say, okay, let's meet again to see if there's anything else we need to discuss in about a week, to see how this is working out for both of us, right? And then you can make changes after that. And there you have it, guys. Some tips for resolving conflict in a relationship, and especially important in your romantic and your intimate relationships, because you're going to be with that person all the time, and you need to be living in peace, not always fighting, and you have to be able to learn how to resolve conflicts in a way that is not going to break your relationship and push you apart, but resolve those conflicts in a way that is going to pull you together even closer. All right, guys, this is Dr. Christine. I'll see you next time, and please do not forget, remember to like, share, and subscribe this video to help me out with sharing it, so that YouTube will share it with other people as well. Take care, and until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.